Gravitation. 10.1 Gravitation. What do you know so far? Let's see. What motion is? How force is needed to bring about a change in motion? Laws of motion and equations of motion. Great! You know enough to now learn about what keeps us all grounded. Gravity is the force that attracts the Earth to the Sun, attracts the other planets to the Sun, attracts the Moon to the Earth, makes tides happen on Earth, makes us come down when we jump up, holds the air that we need to breathe. Gravity makes us fall back to the Earth when we jump up, right? So, why doesn't the Moon come crashing to the Earth when the Earth pulls it? You may not think so, but this is a very complicated concept which involves the fabric of space and what gravity does to it. Maybe we can answer this question later at the end of this lesson. If you weigh 60 kg on Earth, how much would you weigh on the Moon? 10 kg. Why? You are the same. Why does your weight change on the Moon? What is different? The gravity of the Moon. It is 1/6 of that of the Earth. So we come across the force of gravity again. So, we know that because of the force of gravity, the Earth attracts us. What gives the Earth this gravity? Its mass. Anything that has mass has the force of gravity. The mass of the Moon is much lesser than the Earth. That is why the Moon has lesser gravity than the Earth. We have mass too. Do we attract the Earth as well? Yes, we do. But as our mass is very low compared to the Earth, our pull is quite weak. So the Earth moves a really small distance towards us. So, we know that the force of gravity depends on the mass. More the mass, more is the force of gravity. Let's call the force of gravity as Fg. The Fg is directly proportional to the mass of the object. If we have a mass capital M, Fg is directly proportional to capital M. If we have a mass small m, Fg is directly proportional to small m. If we consider both masses together, therefore, Fg is directly proportional to capital M and small m. The story so far is Fg is directly proportional to mm. What about the distance between the objects? Does that affect gravity? Absolutely. The closer the objects, the more the force of gravity. If the distance is less, the gravity is more. If the distance is more, the gravity is less. What does that tell you? Fg is inversely proportional to the distance between the objects. In fact, scientists have found out that Fg is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the objects. Therefore, Fg is directly proportional to mm upon d square. Okay, now we are really close to the end. What do you need to do to remove the proportionality sign? Think. To remove the proportionality sign, we need to add a constant. Let's add g. Therefore, Fg is equal to g into m upon d square. Ta-da! That is the equation of the universal law of gravitation. G is called the universal gravitational constant. The story so far is Fg is equal to g into mm upon d square. What is g? G is equal to Fg into d square upon mm. So the units of g are Newton meter square upon kg square. Luckily for us, that is not what the scientists stopped at. They did a lot more work to find out what this g was. Okay, the story so far is Fg is equal to G into mm upon d square. The units of G are Newton meter square per kg square. The value of G is 6.673 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. As you can see that G is so very small that unless the mass of at least one object is huge, you cannot really feel the force at all. Mass of the earth is equal to 6 into 10 raised to 24 kg. Mass of the moon is equal to 7.4 into 10 raised to 22 kg. And now for the most exciting part of the lesson. Word problems. Let's do this. Read the question of solved example 10.1 on page 134 and understand the story and what you're asked to find out. What do you have to find out? Force of gravity, that is Fg. What is given? Mass of the earth, me, mass of the moon, mm, distance between them, d, gravitational constant, g. How will you do it? Universal law of gravitation. What are the steps to follow? Step 1. Write all the things given. Step 2. Write what you need to find. Step 3. Write the formula to use. Step 4. Check that all your values are in the SI system, meters, kgs, seconds, etc. Step 5. Solve. Go through the solution given in the textbook and make sure you understand it. Let's do this. Try to solve in-text questions on page 134. Question 1. State the universal law of gravitation. Every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force that is proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the distance between them. Question 2. Write the formula to find the magnitude of the gravitational force between the earth and an object on the surface of the earth. Fg is equal to G into mm upon r square, where m is equal to mass of the earth, m is equal to mass of the body, d is equal to radius of the earth.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.